Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new redo episode of Real Business Roundtable. Today we have Matt Dagati again to talk about health equals wealth. We are redoing this episode because we had technical difficulties. What I did want to talk about is the importance of maintaining health and vitality for men and women, maintaining health and vitality during the entrepreneurship journey. I did want to lead with, aside from myself, it's always good to see other business owners that are trying their best to maximize their health and their longevity. So I wanted to have Matt on the show today. Welcome.
Thank you. Sorry, I have allergies this morning. Speaking of health.
So I'm trying to remember how we filmed the episode before. This is kind of how I teed it off.
Yeah.
Matt drives a certain vehicle, nice one, and I was in a rental, and I was on the highway, and I saw his car. He got a really nice Porsche, ladies and gentlemen. He got a really nice Porsche, and I'm on the highway in a rental because my car was in the shop, had some serious issues with it, and it required a rental. So I was working on the road. I looked to my right. I see Matt's Porsche, and I said, it's this really special one. And I said, wow. I said, shit, someone's sweating his game. Someone has the same car as him. Because I'm looking at the forearm coming out the driver's side window, and it was like ripped. And I'm like, that ain't Matt.
This one.
I'm like, that ain't Matt. I was like, who is that? And I'm pulling, it's Matt. Holy shit. So Matt, tell me a little bit about what did you do to get in such great shape? Tell us a little bit about like your regimen, anything that you're comfortable with talking about. But here's the thing. He's maintaining health and vitality and longevity, and it was such a turn and an improvement that I almost didn't recognize you. So yeah, you look great.
Appreciate that.
Tell us a little bit about like how did you get there? What is it about that helps you? Like we're going to talk about health, but how it's important for entrepreneurs.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for the compliment.
Yeah,
I have been working on the forums a little bit, so it's all good. So I think for me, two aspects of my life. I'm 53. I don't mind saying it. Yep. In being 53, you start to think about life and death, and it becomes, you realize you're not going to live forever, right?
Yeah.
And we only have so many summers, winters, and falls ahead of us. So many seasons ahead of us. When you get to a certain age, you start to contemplate, like, wow, God willing, may have 15, 20, 25, who knows, right?
Yeah,
you don't think about when you're younger.
The thing is, you don't know. But
really out of one, balance, and one out of desperation. Balance meaning, to your point earlier, running a company, now 2 companies, and going all out all day long, many days out of the week. I love what I do. I'm very passionate about it, but I'm the type of person that's always working, always moving, and successful. Whatever your definition of that is, if mine, has many definitions to it, but one of them, of course, having the growth of a financial perspective, right? Like you've made a certain amount of money that you feel good about, but you want to keep going. But in doing so, I neglected my health. And, I've owned business now for going on over 10 years. And in that 10-year period, at one point, not too long ago, or close to about 2 years ago now, I was over 200 pounds. And on a 5'6" frame, just doesn't look really well. At least I didn't think it looked well. And looking back at pictures of myself, my face was like out to here.
And what's crazy, back then, I didn't, honest to God.
Everyone says that.
I didn't.
My wife said the same thing. I mean, I'm like,
I didn't look at you like you were overweight until you actually lost it. And I said, whoa, wow, okay.
Yeah, I guess I wore it well is the only thing I could say. But nonetheless, so it was really out of both balance and desperation, because the balance side of it was, man, I'm tired all the time. I'm my mood's just imbalanced, everything I just didn't feel good. And I was sick of not feeling good. And going back to the balance, if you're feeling good in one aspect of your life, from a business perspective, financial perspective, but you're feeling like crap, like shit on the other side, what's the point, So that was the balance part. So that was the first eye-opening thing. The second part being the desperation really came forth from my age. But my age and also my genetics and hereditary. My mom sadly passed away from a heart condition at 74 years old 2 years ago. My grandfather passed away from a heart condition at 63, 6 months after retirement. And I'm starting to get the age where I also have the same heart condition they do. And I'm like, I don't want the same trajectory. And So I did some blood work. This was going about 20 months now. I had some blood work done, not with a traditional doctor, with a specialist who did many, many panels. And it basically came back and said that I was pre-diabetic.
Oh, wow.
And because, being 205 pounds at the time, I like sugar. I was addicted to it, like a lot of people are, you know? And that was really one of the culprits. And so through research and finding the right people and really surrounding myself with the right people, a nutritionist, a weightlifting coach, that type of thing. And then really going to my doctor, because I also suffer from sleep apnea. And I will tell you about the balance thing. If you don't have proper sleep, and if sleep is not part of your regimen, everything else falls out of line.
It's crazy how important sleep is. A lot of people don't realize it.
Absolutely.
They look at it like, oh, sleep is like when your body repairs, it resets, when it produces hormones. You can not get enough sleep and mess all of your like sex hormones, all of your growth hormone, all of the essential things that keep you vital and running properly.
No doubt. So think about it. I go 2 years ago, I'm running a company, about to open up a second, doing well in that aspect of my life, but I'm grossly overweight in my opinion, pre-diabetic, suffering from sleep apnea. So I have sleep deprivation. You want to talk about imbalance. So it was really through those course of events, that course of time, that the desperation to change. And I knew, I would go to my doctor, like, your cholesterol's high, your glucose is off. Here's a pill. I'm like, no, I don't want to go down that route, because then all the adversary effects you get from those types of things. And so I really, the biggest thing I could tell you is I took control of my own personal health, and I made it. I did it on purpose. I was disciplined about it. So I took action. And a lot of people just unfortunately get complacent and think they can't because of their age or whatever.
Yeah.
So the first thing I did is I went to my doctor. I said, I've had sleep apnea for 10 years. My memory's going. I'm in a brain fog all the time. I'm tired all the time. I'm miserable most of the time because of those factors involved. I need to see a specialist. They wouldn't do it. They're like, no, the mask is fine. I was on a mask. I mean, how unattractive is that being a married man, by the way?
Yeah.
So they sent me to an ear, nose, and throat specialist, ENT. He says, open your mouth. I open my mouth, looks at my tonsils, he goes, that's your problem, they need to come out. I'm like, you could do that at my age? He goes, sure, you're gonna be miserable, but we can do it. So they did it. This was September of 2025. I had it done, he was right. It was a miserable month of my life.
What does it feel like? What happens? Trouble drinking?
Think of your worst sore throat you ever had in your life, multiply it by about 100.
Oh.
And then, wait, I'm not done. And then think of an ear infection, your worst one you've ever had, and multiply that by 100, because there's nerve endings, which unbeknownst to me, which he did mention, connected from your tonsils to basically whatever affects your ears. So it feels like you have a double ear infection on top of a massive sore throat. And that was for a month.
Wow.
So yes, I was, but pre-surgery, again, I was 200 and something pounds, wore a mask that I only could wear 2 or 3 hours a night because it would dry my mouth out, and I'd wake up like with dry mouth. I've experienced that. It's awful.
Yeah.
Throw the mask off, get no sleep, or no, REM sleep as they call it. And it just affected every aspect of my life. And I couldn't take it anymore.
So the testosterone thing can be triggered by that.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder, when did you go on TRT? Was it before you took care of that?
So I was off and on. Yeah, it was before this. But at that time, I think because I had so many other factors and elements that were unhealthy, the testosterone really didn't do much for me, quite frankly, because I wasn't working out regularly. I certainly wasn't eating correctly. So testosterone, which we can get into more, is if you're doing the other things well, it'll enhance that aspect. But if you're doing all the other things shitty, really, it's pointless to even take, quite honestly. So post-surgery, they did a 90-day follow-up. I had to do what's called a sleep study, where you go into a facility. I'm a veteran, so I went into the Manchester Veterans Hospital, stayed overnight. They hook all this machinery up to you, and they watch you sleep. And they do an assessment of your sleep apnea level or level of concern. And the doctor called me a couple weeks later. He goes, Matt, I have amazing news. He goes, not only do you not have to wear the mask anymore, but you actually, because you don't have to wear the mask, it's because you literally don't have sleep apnea anymore.
Oh,
and I will tell you,
that is amazing.
Yeah, I take it for granted now, because it was honestly about 8 years of my life, and mine was partially tonsils, partly weight induced, and obviously the tonsils being the biggest contributing factor. But now, I never realized what little sleep I did have, because I literally dream now. I wasn't dreaming for many years, and I didn't even realize it.
oh, so this must have been like a slam in the face. Like,
yeah.
What is this dreaming? What's going on?
It's unbelievable. And name recognition, like I would watch TV before or meet someone and, God, I can't remember that person's name. I mean, how frustrating is that?
Wow.
You know? And I literally go through the alphabet, A, B, C, D, it's David, that type of thing. Now the recognition is coming back. My memory's improved. My mood's improved. I'm much more stable mood-wise. Not that I was a bitch, but I'm just saying I was, much more stable. Yeah. And so now combining my, good sleep, combining the fact that I was scared to death of getting diabetes and change my nutrition, and working out literally 7 days a week, it transformed my life. But
That's awesome.
It's all about, to me now I do feel at my age that I am balanced both from a health and wealth perspective, and it's changed everything because now I'm so much more focused on my business, on my
more productive
personal life. Like I don't feel as overwhelmed. I just feel so overwhelmed, still dealing with the same things.
Yeah.
But when your stresses are internal, as opposed to, there's more internal stressors, it makes the external seem so much more overwhelming.
So do you see, I know this is obvious, like we both already know, but just for the audience, do you see an impact on it optimizing your entrepreneur side of things, your business?
100%. And I don't know if this correlates with everyone, but for me, so the second company we opened up is a residential commercial rooftop solar company first. That we have as a solar farm development business. The differentiator between the two is the first business we've had for going on 10 years now, was just myself, one other partner, and one other person, kind of a very, niche business in what we did. This second company is very front facing, meaning we have about 70 renewable energy sales consultants that work for us.
Yep.
And I'm often in front of the room. And I started to correlate it to people that I would be introduced to or meet along the way. And if they were allegedly either a business owner or allegedly successful, whatever it was, but they were imbalanced on their health and looked unhealthy, I'm sorry, we're in a society that is just very judgmental, right? And so for me, I didn't want to be judged, A, because of my age, and B, because of the way I look, when I'm trying to inspire 20-something-year-olds to do more, and be better, and then them look at me and like, well, that's great, maybe you're successful financially, but you look like the way you look, that's not something we're going to follow. Yeah. So for me, it became an element of becoming an influencer in that respect. And I know it's an overused word, but or motivator, or just garnering respect that like, wow, you're this age.
People looking up to you.
Yeah, you're this age, not only are you financially successful and, more importantly, business successful, right? And I look at it, the money comes with the business, meaning, most businesses fail in 3 to 5 years. When you get over that point, that means you're probably doing something correctly, whether the service you're providing, the business you're providing, the combination of the two. So when you get to that point and that level, it's more about what you're doing than just luck, as a lot of people might say, And so for me, I had to, like you just said, get to the point where I needed to have the reflection of those looking at me and feeling in a way that they respect what I do, not only from a business perspective, but from a personal perspective, because I can't look at them and say, a lot of the sales reps we work with, sales consultants, they're imbalanced, meaning they're not consistent enough. They might work for a day or two, but then they'll fall off. So how can I look at you and say, hey man, consistency is the way to go, and yet you're looking at me and I'm 200 pounds overweight, and clearly I'm not consistent in my life either. Yeah. So if I'm gonna preach it, I have to live it, and that's what I go by.
What's the worst? What the worst thing is that I see throughout my entire career is a salesperson or a business person will reach a certain level, get comfortable, and sort of like, I don't know if it's an internal game, but they'll pull back and they'll relax a little. There's nothing wrong with taking a breath, but you got to keep moving. Oh, yeah. You got to keep active, and that's a thing that is like, maybe I don't know if it's an energy thing. Like they're just so exhausted. They're like, oh. And that piece, I get it. But imagine if you could optimize your health where you're like, go, 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 go. Your hormones and your vitality and your weight and your systems and your just bodily functions as a whole is your foundation. So health is so important, especially if you're just starting a business, you're trying to grow a business, you're trying to be successful. How successful you're going to be, like let's say a steam engine train or whatever, it needs fire. That fire to fuel that train, to get that big train to move, you got to put the coal or the wood or whatever you're using. I'm trying to give you an analogy so you understand. You got to have that fire internally. And sometimes with age, and lifestyle and diet and whatever, and the food we're exposed to, sometimes that fire strength can go down.
Oh, yeah.
And again, they say that stuff happens naturally with age, but it doesn't hurt to try to push back and defy that just through proper nutrition, proper supplementation, proper medical care, proper medical care, stuff like that, to ensure that the very thing that's providing you a livelihood is going to be positioned to thrive and do better. You can't just sit there and go and expect it. Oh yeah, hey, I'm just gonna let myself go to shit, and it's gonna keep. It's gonna. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Samir is sneezing continuously. So we always like to push that health equals wealth. Health is the number one asset in your life that's priceless.
Yeah.
There is nothing that compared to health. Like, you can be unhealthy and be a billionaire with all of this opportunity and all these things in your life, and a big beautiful house and whatever. What are you gonna do with that if you're not able to enjoy it to the fullest?
It does correlate so well. It got me thinking of something you just said.
Yep.
And I just find, I know I'm dating myself here, but whatever. It's not like that old guy. This generation, and again, I say this because I'm exposed to them on the daily basis.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just at lunch with a couple of our guys on Wednesday, and they're like, Matt, what's made you so successful? And both of these gentlemen both have a lot of potential. But what problem is, and I see it a lot with people in their age group, they chase every shiny object. One of them actually said to me, hey, do you want to get into day trading with me? I'm like, no, not at all.
Yes.
Why would I take advice from you about day trading?
I've seen people a little bit older, not a little younger than me, do this. It's insane.
Yeah. And to your point, I think you were making just a moment ago, is they say very successful people have multiple forms of income. I think 7 is like the number. But what they fail to say in that same statement, every single one of those individuals, for the most part, myself included, and probably you, they have one main source.
Yes.
That drives all the other incomes.
Yes.
And that's the point I try to make to these guys and gals that work for us is stop chasing every shiny object. It correlates back to food and nutrition and balance and health as well, right? If you are, like right now, I eat a very boring, regimented diet, we'll say, but it's my lifestyle. So
I wanted to get into that.
Yeah, so I don't really consider it as a diet, it's my lifestyle. It's kind of boring. I will have one meal a week, sometimes 2, and it'll mix up where I'll indulge a bit, but then I go right back on it.
Yeah,
but
you're supposed to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. But these folks that I work, they're whether it's it's likened to if they're taking their business life and they correlate it to nutrition, right? They're indulging every day, but maybe one meal they'll not indulge, and they think that's going to lead to success. It's not going to lead to success that way, and it correlates so well into business in any, not just owning a business, but working a business, whether it's in sales or 9-to-5 job, whatever it happens to be. You can't be successful if you're not focused and disciplined and committed to whatever that process is.
Exactly. And I think that is a very important thing to mention, is that chasing the new shiny object and in business, you're going to get maybe initial rush because it's so different. I think it's a dopamine thing. I think people, ooh, this is something new. But you didn't master and you didn't maximize your other thing that you were working on. There's somebody that, and I'm not going to say names, there's somebody that I work with. I've worked with them for years and years and years. I consider them a friend, almost a brother. He's very, very, very skilled, very talented in one thing. Mm-hmm. And that one thing is the bread and butter of all of his fortune and wealth and all that stuff. He keeps diving into new things. I'm telling you, and it's made me crazy. And I haven't really said anything. I'm just like, dude is spreading himself too thin. And I know it. Yeah. Well, guess what? I sat there and watched him kind of neglect the other thing that was his main source. And then, the new thing. Oh, some trends popping off. Oh, the new thing.
Yeah.
But each of those new things are bringing in minimal return.
Sure.
Minimal. One of the things, through somebody else that took the lead on it in his life, it did blow up. But it's not his direct thing. So it's kind of like, all right, well, it's because they're putting in the full-time hours, and that's why that. But though, literally, I can probably name off eight things that were the shiny thing that I'm like, okay, cool, but what about the main thing that you're fucking good at? Like, I'm like, dude, stick to that. Like, even my dad says all the time, he says, you stick to what you're good at. Like, he always, I will like get intrigued by something, and he'll like, don't forget your main thing. That always kind of rings in the back of my head, and it's very, very true. And also, like, fad diets, you got to be careful with that stuff, because if you're on a, let's say, some kind of fad diet, remember, your body gets acclimated. Your body becomes acclimated to these diets and stuff like that. So this, like Matt was mentioning, that he has a cheat day. He has a day that he indulges. What this does to your system is it trips it up where it does not adapt. Adaption in certain situations isn't a good thing when you're talking about your fat burning mode, your like if you're on a regimen or certain like lifestyle, you're eating a certain way. If you do, and I have seen this, people are eating clean for a long time, and then they slowly are seeing less and less results. I was a personal trainer for 4 years, and I saw this, and they're like, I'm not getting outside of my diet. Something as simple as a surge of stress will add another 10 pounds to someone. They don't know where it came from.
Oh, yeah.
Because your weight and your health, your hormones are a big player in that. If you're not getting enough sleep, you're not producing enough growth hormone. If you're not producing enough growth hormone, you're not mobilizing your fat cells to produce energy. I guess you could say less of it. Another culprit is cortisol. Cortisol is a hormone that's created from stress. That will pack on weight. So you got to try to keep your life. I'm not going to say, so no entrepreneur has no stress. It's impossible. That's a myth. But to manage stress, I would say what I like to see is I supplement, and this is what I use, but I'll use like phosphatidylserine. I will use magnesium, things to calm me. L-theanine, very, very good for calming. But you might want to research things that can reduce cortisol. One disclaimer: there is an herb that's an adaptogen. It's like an old, like Indian medicine substance called ashwagandha. Ashwagandha, ladies and gentlemen, it works, and it works really, really well. I took ashwagandha. I probably dropped 10 pounds of fat, like within a month.
Really?
I go, damn, this is. It's because it reduces your cortisol, but there is a payback. If you take too much of it for too long, it will numb you the fuck out. You can't get happy. You can't get sad. You can't get a lot of things. You can't get stimulated for things that you need to get stimulated for. You're like, you could have, I'm telling you right now, there is it numbs things that you would normally, like, if you see a pretty girl, you're like, oh, wow. Yeah, like something like, but I'm telling you right now.
Non-reactionary.
And I'm like, am I getting old? I said, well, I thought to myself, I go, is there something wrong with me because I'm not getting jazzed about things that I normally get jazzed about? I'm like, am I looking at too much booty on Instagram? I'm going through my head, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Because that's not right. And I did a little bit of digging, and I found out that the dosage of ashwagandha that I was taking was kind of numbing things a little bit. So here's the thing. With ashwagandha, obviously you want to check with your health expert, doctor first. But what with me is, if you take a lower dose towards the end of the day, because you need your cortisol in the morning. Do not crush your cortisol in the morning. You need that. That's what wakes you up. That's what gets you going for the day. If you start crushing your cortisol in the morning.
What do you mean you need your cortisol? Talk about that.
You need your
cortisol. So knowledgeable.
Yeah. So cortisol is a stress hormone. Cortisol turns on the second your eyes see light. Yeah. That's why I always tell people, if you in your home, do not have fucking night lights all around your house. Do not have LED little lights and little.
I need pitch black.
Shit. Like a portable speaker, like a Sonos, will have a little light on it. And I swear, I'll be in darkness. And if I see like a portable speaker light, it instantly triggers. I can feel it. And I'm like, oh man, now it's going to be hard to fall asleep.
Oh, yeah.
Because light activates your brain to produce cortisol to wake up.
Yeah, I'll enhance that point. My wife likes to watch TV and then fall asleep and then leaves the TV on. And like I said, I like it pitch black. I could be in the deepest sleep and subconsciously I know the TV's on because I could literally feel the light generating on my face.
Yeah.
So now I just go to sleep with a thing on, one of those masks on my face. Oh, better than a sleep apnea machine.
You have a TV in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't need it on, but my wife, she needs that to fall asleep.
Yeah. The white noise.
I need it to be, and I need it silent and dark. She needs it noisy. She needs the complete opposite.
Wait a minute. Hold on. So you sleep well in silence? I'm the polar opposite. I need white noise.
Oh, dude.
I need zzz, zzz. Jay, my business partner, he's getting into grounding.
Oh, I've heard about
grounding.
Yeah.
So basically, this is what he does. Like, I was over at my sister's house. They're married, my sister and him. And I'm like, I was there for Halloween, taking the kids out, and Jay's just chilling there, and he's got this almost looks like a blood pressure cuff, and he's just chilling there. And I go, what's that? And he goes, oh, I'm grounding. Well, he went to the doctor, had his levels, all his stuff checked, and he's like, my whole bill of health has went up.
Really?
The only thing he changed was grounding. So what grounding does is you can get a bed mat, you can connect it to your arm. A lot of people get the bed mat. So basically you lay down a thing in your bed that has like these little like connector, diode, metal. I'm assuming here, I don't know, I don't have one. But you take the wire from the bed sheet and you put it in the circle hole of a plug. In the United States plug, you have two vertical lines that picture the eyes, right? And then you have the O face, the ooh, that little hole, the O. And you better show a plug. That little hole, allegedly, according to Jay, is you put that diode in the hole. You put the diode in the hole, or the rod. You put the rod in the hole, and then that connects your body to the ground because all plugs are grounded. I believe in walking on the beach and connecting to the earth.
Yeah.
It will clean your body of negative energies. It'll clean your body of electromagnetic bullshit. But hands down, Jay's blood numbers and all his stuff that he goes to the doctor for, it has improved.
Wow.
So now I'm like, maybe I should look into grounding. Have you ever looked into grounding?
No.
I heard it's amazing. Oh, and the guy I told you that spread too thin, he got into grounding, and he was like 3 years ago. He's like, dude, it's the best thing in the world. And I just thought it was foo-foo fluff. Someone who's very close to me in my life was like, dude, like, I'm doing this and it's making changes. I'm like, is it real?
Really?
Is it? I always thought it was like, I'm like, just go outside with no shoes on.
Yeah.
But they say when you're exposed to grounding long-term, like sleeping, it will not only improve your sleep, so you might want to consider this. I'm probably going to get one. Grounding will improve sleep quality, REM sleep, length of time REM sleep. You'll actually wake up feeling refreshed. So I'm like, okay, that really intrigues me because we all know better sleep equates to better hormone profiles, better growth hormone, better testosterone. These are the things that are going to fuel your hormones. Fuel your vitality and your conquering, seize the day mentality. Another thing is dopamine. I feel that sometimes in the day-to-day life, people are chasing dopamine. They're chasing the next thing. What's the new thing? Like if you see somebody like constantly like make changes, there's nothing wrong with progress, but you can actually spot someone who is unintentionally addicted to dopamine.
Nowadays, just looking at your phone and scrolling for hours on end is a dopamine.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
Simple as that. You don't realize it.
Scrolling on your phone. And I catch myself in the morning. I'm like, nope, no dopamine hit. Nope. just continue taking your shit and focus on going to the bathroom. Because I'm like, I'm not doing it. I have learned because I've been guilty of it. That death scrolling, you are triggering and you're numbing your dopamine receptors. So what does that mean? When you're pumping out dopamine like crazy, and that's the achievement hormone. It's pleasure and it's a good state to reach dopamine, but dopamine requires work. So let's just say ancestral genetics and code is you go out, you hunt, you get that buffalo. Now you have food for the tribe. Now your dopamine's like, yeah, I did this. When you accomplish something and you did it, that triggers dopamine. I'm not a big advocate of video game addiction. The only thing I do like about video games is two things. And that's why I'm kind of okay with my son playing video games, because I look at it differently, is that he's training his eye-hand coordination, strategy, and then second, he's able to achieve things. He wins the game. He doesn't just play a game and bullshit. He actually plays the game to beat it. And when he beats it, he just gives me these eyebrows. He goes, I'm like, hey, good job. And I always congratulate him. I know video games is not the ideal thing. You can't be sitting on your ass all day and, you know.
Oh, they're far more advanced nowadays.
Sam's a video game guy. I don't believe in doing it too much.
We grew up with Atari games, Frogger and really.
Yeah, I'm more Nintendo. Nintendo Genesis.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So Genesis.
There wasn't much strategy with those games back then,
So if I have a cheat day where I'll have I'll have some pizza, I'll have maybe a burger, I'll have maybe a piece of banana bread.
Dude, I got some fucking banana bread at work today, dude. Hell yeah.
But then like later on at night, I'm like, God, it's still cheat day. Yeah. It's 9:00. Yeah. I have these chips that I I don't eat chips any other day other than the weekend. But like, do you ever see the Vandy chips? They're fried in beef tallow.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever tried them?
Yeah, I have actually.
Oh my God, insane. Shout out to Vandy potato chips, not sponsor. It's one of Andy's top picks if you want a taste of old school French fries from you know what restaurant without the chemicals or additives. Try Vandy Crisps, available online, even Amazon. Check it out. Not a sponsor. All right.
That was good.
So I love the product. I give products that I consume a shout out. So like I like Vandy Crisps.
Sietes are good.
There's a chip out there. I'm not a vegan, but it is a vegan cheese puff, and they're called Dragon Puffs. What I like about them is they satisfy my chip craving, but the ingredients, so sorghum flour, it's not wheat.
Yep.
Sorghum flour has so many health benefits. And I know they always say, it's like, stay away from grain, but I'm like, all right, Friday, I'm gonna have a little, so this is how I do my diet, is Monday through Thursday, strict protein and fats, barely carbs. I'm lucky if I get 5 grams in a day.
Yeah.
Monday through Thursday, clean. And then Friday evening, usually with my son, I'll have a little bit of carbs, a little bit, maybe 30 grams. Then Saturday, I'll take in I'll have like a burger, and that burger bun's gonna be 30 grams of carbs. Then I'll have maybe tacos or whatever. I add up my carbs. I'm not really passing 200 grams on a Saturday. Sunday is when I take in about 300 grams or more. That's like my big day.
Yeah.
But then Monday, Metabolic Monday, what that means is one meal that entire day. Tuesday, 2 meals. Wednesday, 3 meals. Thursday, 4 meals. Friday, I bring it back down to 2. Then Saturday, 3, Sunday, 4. So I have this like weird pulse that I do. Here's the reason why, is your body becomes acclimated. So the reason why a cheat day is so important is because, and back to my point earlier, I don't know how I lost track, but your body becomes used to, I think your phone rang or something, like your body becomes used to it. And when I was a personal trainer, I used to see people that were like, I'm eating strict. I don't know what's going on. Why am I gaining weight? your body becomes so used to you eating clean that you adapt to that clean diet.
Yeah.
It's like people who do a shitload of cardio. If you do a shitload of cardio, one of my buddies, he's from Australia, and his like cousin or something came up and he was into fitness. And I remember we all grabbed lunch and this dude was like off the boat from Australia and he was like talking about fitness. I was like, so what's your training split? Because if I see another guy that lifts, like, oh, come up.
Yeah.
We're sitting there eating lunch, and he goes, "Oh, mate," he goes, "if you do too much cardio," he goes, "your body gets used to it, mate, and this and that." And I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "These guys that are pounding the pavement, running 3 miles, 5 miles a day, they're not only lowering their testosterone." I'm not judging long distance runners, no disrespect. It's just people have their passions, but when you run and run and run, or you eat too clean for too long with no breaks, you don't trick the system. You don't trick the body.
Look at body types. If you look at a marathoner's body type versus a sprinter.
Yes.
Take the Olympics, right?
Yeah.
Sprinters are like jacked and lean and cut, and marathoners are not.
Exactly. There's a famous bodybuilder, Nasser El Somebody, big guy. And he was talking about how his diet, he has to confuse the body. When you trick the body, your body resets and goes, shit, I got to burn all these calories, right?
Yeah.
I personally, I have shed a ton of body fat. I'm talking like 8-pack following that cheat day program.
Yeah.
But back then I was doing 1 day of indulgence and 6 days of hardcore. I've loosened up a little bit just because, not to get too many details, but I loosened up because Saturday's a hard training day for me.
Yeah.
And I want a little bit of carbs Friday night to go into Saturday strong.
Makes sense.
So like what does your training split look like?
So I do Monday through Thursday. For me anyway, because I'm still trying to shed some body fat. I'm about, well, actually, it's about 120 days ago, I was 16% body fat. I'm probably down to like 12, 13 right now.
So they say 10% is the cutoff. What's your goal? 10, okay.
In fact, my body, well, so I'll just tell you my regimen. So, I have a trainer nutritionist who I follow. He's a bodybuilder by trade, jacked in every sense of the word, but knowledgeable, which is more important to me, And so I'm on caloric deficit Monday through Thursday. I do about 1,800, 1,900 calories max, but so minimal carbs as well, high protein, no fats really. So it's protein predominantly, and very minimal carbs. I'm talking like 5-10 grams type of thing.
Okay.
But mostly protein induced. So cooking, making my own meals, that type of thing, not eating out, nothing like that. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday are kind of my refeed days where we'll increase the calories up to around 2,600, but again, clean. And then in the middle of that, I do either or, and this isn't part of his regimen, this is my regimen. Either Friday night or Saturday, I'll have my cheat meal.
What's your cheat?
I might have a pizza, or not a pizza, but
pizza is one of those things.
That's for me. That's indulgent. But I'll do gluten free. My body doesn't tolerate gluten, so for me, I'll do like either cauliflower or gluten. I guess for me, really, the cheat is defined as within reason. I'll have whatever's on the menu that I want to have at that point. Like I'm not going to prevent myself from having it. But again, I've noticed something else. My body's so used to eating clean that I can't overindulge. Like I can't do something overly fatty or really high
too much.
Yeah. Like
you'll think you can eat it. Yeah. You'll look at it and go, oh yeah, I can punish that. And then you start eating and you're like,
And I get full really quickly as well. So although I want to indulge and I want to, I'm almost be gluttonous because this is my day, leave me the fuck alone, my body's so used to, and thankfully now actually, my body's so used to being clean and eating well and has an expectation of what I am and what I am not in terms of food, that when I put that even in front of me, it's like, yeah, I'm good.
Birthday cake.
Turn off.
At the last. So for like most of my family members, we typically get it from the same bakery.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sugar and Spice. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want a quality cake, look no further than Sugar and Spice in Windham, New Hampshire. I'm saying Windham so you can identify what we're talking about. It's called Wyndham. All right. So my family will get birthday cakes from sugar and spice.
Yeah.
Really good. He has this cake called the stock cake. It is absolute insanity. It's like, put it this way, this guy's like an award-winning baker. And I don't know what it is, but it's top notch. So it's a quality product, but I'll tell you right now, I've been trying to be more strict with my eating and indulgence.
You gotta tell us what a stock cake is.
So ladies and gentlemen, I just want to identify and help Matt understand what the stock cake is.
Yes, please.
Matt's going to go straight there. You're going to get it for the wife.
It's on the way home.
So the stock cake so the way he designed it was perfect because he says it's a little bit of everything that everyone likes. So God, I sound so fat right now on this show. I'm talking about cake. All right. For birthdays, not daily. Okay. So it's vanilla cake, one layer of chocolate cake. In between the cake is really high quality buttercream, real buttercream, not dog shit. Then it's on top of it, there is a layer of ganache. Ganache is like this dark chocolate ooze. But when I order it, he puts these multicolored flowers. I don't like food coloring, so I'm like, don't put those flowers on it. Just put some buttercream things in the corners around the perimeter. We usually write happy birthday. If it's just hey, I want to be fat cake, I just say, hey, just put whatever around it. And it's maybe a dessert cake for the weekend if family's coming over. I don't do that as much, but that's a famous cake from there. It's called the stock cake. You'll see the picture on his website. It has multicolored flowers, and I get those flowers off, and I just want, if he's going to put anything on it, it's just going to be regular white buttercream. But what I was trying to get at is I have recently been paying attention to my eating more, and we recently just had a birthday, and I barely could finish my piece of cake.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm relating to what you're saying. Is I'm like, ooh, because before I could punish it, and I'm like, God damn, I can't.
It's not as rewarding. Same thing. I'll have a piece of cake in front of me, and I'll have a bite or two. But before I would just devour it and be like, where's my next piece? But the bite or two appeases the indulgence.
Yeah. So if you have an indulgence day, 100% call Sugar and Spice and order the cake. But if you order it, so you can get, I think they have a small one. They have a 6-inch or an 8-inch.
Can I tell you my indulgence?
What?
So I'll do a shout out too. There's a place in Haverhill that recently opened up called Darifki.
Okay.
I don't know what descent they're from,
I think
Middle Eastern or something like that name. But they make these cubes, and so it's think of croissant flakiness, but not in a croissant form, but in an actual cube form.
Yeah. And
then they stuff them with all sorts of strawberry cream, lemon cream, and they have this one that's a Dubai chocolate.
Oh, Dubai chocolate.
So I being Italian, I love pistachio.
Yep.
So it's a pistachio cream.
Wow.
With chocolate infused in a cube, so nothing oozes out until you. But once you open it, it just.
Haverhill?
In Haverhill, right on Main Street.
Wow. Shout out to Darifki.
But I could very easily eat one of those whole cubes. Now I'll eat a bite or two and just leave it be.
How big are they?
Oh, they're good size. I'm not exaggerating.
But is it a square that?
It's a
cube
yes,
that big?
yes. Not even.
So it's like a sharing thing. You share.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it depends on your level of indulgence, right? I mean, yeah. I could pound one myself if I really wanted to.
Okay.
Yeah. But
hey, they're open they're open all weekend. That's good because some places close
Yeah, no, they're.
Wow, they're open till 9 p.m.
They actually sometimes during the day have lines out the door. It's a small bakery. They're definitely gonna have to expand. There's no doubt about it. They opened up about a year ago, I'd say.
Shit. Okay, yeah. Shout out to Darifikis in Haverhill, Massachusetts. So just to kind of wrap up the episode, I know we went off on talking about sweets, but just understand that you should treat yourself with some kind of indulgence, because if you eat too clean for too long, it's your body does become acclimated. Now, why is all of this important? This is important to keep that fire going, to keep you motivated, to keep you going to the next level. Make sure you pay attention to how you feel, your energy. Maybe get a blood test, check your hormones, check your, all the things that could be impacting your vitality. But remember, the answer isn't like in a pill. It's a combination of making commitments to a lifestyle, understanding nutrition better, and finding out what works for you, because what works for you may not work for the next person. Some people have different metabolisms. But here's the thing. If you want to be successful in business and be able to enjoy life to the fullest, pay attention to health, because health always equates to wealth. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and stay tuned till next time.